Trust me when I say this is the only great Talon guide you need to know for Deadlock. Now the first step to this guide is knowing positioning. With Talon, since he's such a squishy character, you really need to know how to position yourself right so that you're constantly not going to keep getting railed. Now not only is positioning super crucial when it comes to Talon, is what, when, and where what items you need to build. Now there's two primary builds that you're going to be focusing on. One that focuses on spirit power, that you'll end up one-shotting people with your first ability and pretty much destroying everyone's health bar with the aloe ability as well. Now I will say Spirit Talon was super useful before their latest patch in September, which changed the scaling that was done for Spirit Talon. Now mostly you want to start building for your second ability, which is the leap in the air or the rain of arrows, and practically turn yourself into an A10 warthog. As you can see from this example.
Need to find higher ground.
As you can see, the build is still super effective, although the kills you get won't be as satisfying when you one-tap someone with the first ability or even the eagle ability. Alright, let's stop messing around and actually tell you the guide. Well, first and foremost, if you're looking to build the physical damage build, head over to the browse build menu and go to duck on quack. But basically all the items and all of your upgrades for your character are going to be surrounding the rain of arrows ability, which is your second ability. Now I do want to say, when you're starting the rain of arrows, your early game kill potential and lane pressure is insane. Most of the time I'm able to find myself getting the first blood within a few minutes just because of how much damage Rain of Arrows can actually do. The Rain of Arrows ability can be super useful for denying CS, as it acts as a shotgun, so you can easily deny the soul orbs and even get your own soul orbs. You're also super easy to get rid of the back minions. For whatever reason, I see a lot of Talon players that struggle with keeping up the pressure while maintaining a really good farm. Now most times what you want to do is try your best to freeze the wave until you hit the 2-minute mark. At the 2-minute mark, tier 1 camps spawn for the jungle, so do your best to shove the wave as fast as you can, grab your tier 1 jungle, then head back to lane. Hopefully by the time the enemy laner clears the shoved wave, you will already have more farm than them. Now your first ability for the large arrow, that's going to be your poke damage. You're going to use that to poke your enemy laner away so they won't touch your CS. Most of the time, at least in higher elos, enemy players will try to respect it, but sometimes you'll catch them off guard with the arrow. Now for the third ability you want to get is your trap. Most of the time I find myself putting it on the gargoyle just at the end of the lane where the stairs are, right behind it so that enemy can't see it, and it's actually super easy for people to get trapped in it. Now after you created all of this pressure and eventually got into level 4 with your owl, now this is where the fun begins. Whenever your owl is up and ready, either look for someone that's low on the map, look where someone needs help, or even use it as a ganking ability. Once eventually you get superior cooldown, you can spam that thing like every 30 seconds, so you could honestly just use it whenever you want. You blow up the owl by pressing spacebar and make the owl be a F1 card by pressing left click. Usually from the amount you're spamming owls and just how much poke damage you actually do, you should pretty consistently have the most damage on your team unless something terrible happens. Wherever that may be, I don't know. Now come mid to late game, something I see that Talon players struggle a lot with is actually keeping up a farm with the rest of their team. As well, I would say half of your time is cut from farming, as you're spending most of your time in your owl just flying around the map, going on a nice sightseeing tour around the map. Now it's in your best interest, or more properly, how to be more selfish, is hit jungle camps as fast as you can, then you could use your owl to farm. Now I can say for myself, sometimes I do this, but not really. Usually I'll just use the owl to snipe enemies, initiate a fight, or honestly just catch people off guard. For whatever reason, I feel like a lot of Talon players are super selfish and just hold on to their ult for pretty much the entire game. Even though I am sitting at a higher MMR, it's still, for whatever reason, people don't know how to play Talon, or at least play Talon the right way. Now let's move on to larger fights. In larger team fights, you're typically going to initiate with the owl. However, if they say have a 7 or a haze, and that player did not buy unstoppable for whatever reason, I recommend you hold on to your owl until they ulti so you can cancel their ult with the stun of the owl. Then your positioning, think of it as being the quarterback on a football team, or a defender, I guess, on the football pitch, or whatever it's called. You want to think of yourself not as a frontliner, but as a midliner, or someone who sits in the backline. Now, depending on which build you go will tell you where you're going to be positioning. If you're going Spirit, you can position yourself further back and just lob your arrows wherever. But if you're going the A10 Warthog build, then you're probably going to be positioning yourself to the midline, or just closer to the fight in general. But hopefully this guide taught you how to play Great Talon a little bit better. And let me know down in the comments below if you like this type of content. But that's enough from me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yo, I'm ulting to you, Orange.